Hey everyone, we are back in our unit for home defects check. So we have engaged advanced inspection. Before they come, I thought to give you one last quick look at the clean and empty house, as well as to share some of our layout ideas. For the foyer area, we are actually going to do flushed carpentry for this whole segment of the wall. Starting with the DB box, I think the doors will be removed and then we will overlay it with some carpentry and laminates, and create also a recessed area where we can put our keys and knickknacks. There's also going to be a cover up of the bomb shelter door. So this door will be covered with some carpentry, and then there will be another layer of the door. I know it's not optimal, but behind that first layer we will have some shelving units as well. And then the last portion, we're actually planning to do a little featured kind of a sitting area where we can wear our socks. So below there'll be some cabinets. There's actually a bomb shelter ventilation point. I'm still thinking whether we should seal this up or maybe just something more practical, leave it alone and maybe put a clock or some decorations over it. So the living room, the original idea was to have a very nice curved settee. However, I think we decided to skip that idea, so we're going to remove the TV console part and just have that bay window. The reason being because we're going to put up a partition wall to house our Samsung The Frame TV. And because we want to achieve the very nice picture frame effect, we're going to actually drop a cable behind the partition wall and ideally come out from the other side, which is connected to the bay window. So on this side of the wall, we will not see any cables whatsoever. Maybe just put an armchair or two. The pelmet will actually be integrated with the false ceiling, tapering at the end. Our pineapple actually rode sideways to this very nice spot, and I'm actually quite happy about it because this is the area where I think we'll spend the most time lazing around the house. So our sofa will be here, and the pineapple marked that as our lucky spot in the house. For this side of the wall, we are going to just flush this wall with a partition and of course restore back the skirting. So this will just be a very clean wall. For the dining area, we're actually planning to do a curved banquet sitting area. So this curved banquet will be around here, just enough space for us to move a fridge in, and bordered by the two kitchen countertops. So curved banquet as well as a nice round table. I think comfortably can sit about 5 to 6 packs. Behind it, we'll have a little place where we can put our drinks or phones to charge when we are enjoying a meal or having some card games with our friends. So moving on to the kitchen. So the kitchen will have a little tiny entrance now because I don't think we need so much space to enter the kitchen, so that we can actually maximize the banquet sitting area. When you enter the kitchen, the very first thing you'll see is actually a tall unit. So this tall unit will house our built-in oven, as well as a recessed area for us to make our coffee and boil our water. So the top part will just be concealed cabinets, so we do not want to have much open area in the house. So as much as possible, we want everything to be hidden and concealed, and also covering up that pipe. So first is tall unit, followed by a refrigerator. So the refrigerator you're going to get is actually a rather big one. It's a Samsung family hub. So the smart refrigerator will be here, and they will come with a little panel that we can integrate our smart home communications with. Beside the refrigerator will be the sink. So the sink we actually ordered from overseas, a Blanco flush mount sink. So flush mount sinks are actually not easy to find in Singapore, especially those that come with very detailed instructions. We will also be hacking away the service yard window and door. And you see these two pipes over here, we will be boxing them up and concealing the pipes behind our carpentry. So maybe in that tall unit, we can actually just store our maybe vacuum cleaner or even put a charging point to charge it, as well as our magic wipe and other mops and all that. Then here will be where the washer dryer is. So for this side of the kitchen, we're just going to do a long stretch of carpentry, and of course behind this segment here will be the banquet sitting area. So there will be a little raised portion where we're probably going to put a line 8 power track. Here we're going to put the hood as well as the hob. And if you notice something when you hang this service yard windows and the door, what will actually happen is that you need to make good this particular area of the wall, which we are still not too sure if it's going to work now, because here is actually tiled, and if you go by here, here is your painted wall, right? You need to find a solution that can enable us to nicely flush this whole segment of the wall. For the kitchen, our floors will actually be overlaid with tiles. For this side of the wall, we're actually going to leave it as it is, very nice white tiled wall. For here, because you have the top and the bottom carpentry, right? So actually you just need a very small segment of the backsplash, then you don't really need to do any wall tiling works here. So the very first room will be left untouched. We're going to keep the vinyl flooring provided by HDB and just install ceiling fan and lights. So this room will just be an area for us to work. So moving on to the common bathroom. So in this room, we're just going to overlay every tile, both the floor as well as the walls. So when you overlay, this door, right, actually has to be trimmed. So according to our ID, right, it needs to remove the door and see if it can be trimmed, because we're keeping the doors in this house. So for the shower area, we're going to curb this square portion of the corner and put up a fixed panel to protect this carpentry, which will be over here. There will not be any ID to do our top cabinets. We're just going to buy probably an off-the-shelf curved mirror with some LED lighting. So keep this room very simple. So for the master room, we actually decided to take a leap of faith, and after much discussion and headache, we decided to convert this into a walk-in wardrobe. So this may sound quite extreme, but I think it's getting more and more popular these days. So this part here all the way to here will be our tall wardrobes. This area, which is against the windows, will be our mid-height cabinets, followed by a tall unit over here and a dresser over there. So a lot of people will say, oh, why do you waste an entire wardrobe? Because you see these windows over here is actually very nice L-shaped windows. So there's actually some sea view as well. So if we actually want to sleep in this room, it's actually quite wasted, because usually when we sleep, right, we want the whole room to become blackout. And probably just cover this whole area with curtains all the time. So we wanted some light to come in the house, and also an area where we can chill. And of course, this side of the wall, hackable, create an archway, and then you will have a glass sliding door, and you can go to the other side to simply sleep. Okay, so the sleeping room will be here. So we're just going to put a king size bed here. And this room will just be solely for us to relax and sleep, so no additional carpentry and all that. So for the master bath, we're actually going to remove the door frame and the door and put up a glass tinted door that swings outwards. There will be a carpentry bottom, as well as we're going to get the ID to do a carpentry for the entire top portion, so that we can maximize the space of the master bath. Okay, we're going to change both the bowl as well as the basin. For this side, again, the ugly feature one has to go. This whole toilet will be overlaid with tiles, so the walls as well as the floor. There will be a curb over here, and just a simple one fixed panel right here. The top, as usual, the grills will be replaced with acrylic panels as well as some lighting. And there's a very big window over here, very nice view of the condos opposite. And this is where our aircon latch is. So hopefully there's no way that people can see through this now, because it's where we shower now.